It might be easy to look at the problem of global pollution and see it as being too much, too overwhelming, simply too hard to fix.
But for one man who grew up in Kennebunk, taking on that challenge has propelled him to not only launch a small company, but possibly change the way we reuse the plastic filling up our landfills. Growing up in Maine, James Merrill was outside all the time.
Being able to ski and surf our mountains and oceans, it just really instilled this love for nature. And that love for nature sparked my love for human interaction, and I think those go hand in hand.
His work as a government contractor took him to remote and often impoverished countries. What he saw there made an impact.
It's within that line of work that I was noticing how the plastic pandemic was actually impacting communities that had to deal with it on a day-to-day basis, and the environment that they were living in.
Out of the 500 billion plastic bottles produced every year, less than 10% of those get recycled. And plenty of those water bottles wind up hugging the coastline of countries in Africa, the Middle East, and Asia.
So I really wanted to focus in on one thing. If we could harness a way to help these communities with this plastic and focus on the plastic bottle, that's what I wanted to narrow in on.
Focusing on all those plastic bottles meant figuring out a way to collect them, sort them, recycle them, and most importantly, reuse most of the bottle to make a product. He calls this the circular plastic economy.
We're so inundated by negative data around what's happening with our climate. I wanted to bring a message of hope and optimism to what we can do as a collective around something as simple as sunglasses on how to help our planet and the communities most impacted by what's going on.
He launched Opolis Optics, a sunglasses company with 2 lines of eyewear, one made from plant-based materials and the other made from all those recycled bottles. The supply chain begins with folks who live alongside these landfills, often marginalized communities. He refers to them as advocates.
And these advocates, we teach them that we can treat plastic, the stuff that they're surrounded by, as a commodity. And this commodity can actually help the environment that they're living in and their pockets as well.
These advocates earn a living collecting and sorting the bottles, which are then sent off to be sorted, cleaned, heated, and ground into pellet form.
A lot of other companies are using a blend of different things, fishing line, shampoo bottles, and other things. But we're focusing on using that one bottle that we're finding in the ocean or landfill and turning that into a product.
The Stoked collection, which will debut next month, is trademarked and has a patent pending for the plastic blend that they came up with, working with the University of Southern Maine and their STEM lab.
And so that's where the excitement comes. And that's where you know we bring in the state of Maine. How can Maine support this and then bring it here to actually make an overall global impact?
James has been building the supply chain for his product for 2 years. He feels he's bringing it to the market at a time when consumers are becoming more aware about the impact of their purchases.
If you define sustainability without the people that's actually providing you the materials, then you're not really you're not participating in that circular plastic supply chain.
Right now, Opolis Optics is all about sunglasses, but James sees his idea of a circular plastic economy as something that could impact all kinds of products.
What I keep on telling people and what I get most excited about is educating the plastic industry, right? There's so many amazing materials out there that can benefit both the environment and communities. We need to start using them. There needs to be a responsibility by corporations, by brands, by organizations to use these materials. And I want to be that person that pushes it. I want to be that person that drives that competition, right? Because the more competition, the more volume, the more change. I believe in the human spirit. I believe in culture. I believe in that if we can do this as a collective planet, no matter where we're from, ethnicity or gender, I feel like this is what we need to do to actually conserve our planet.
What do you want people to think of when they hear Opolis or they hear Opolis Optics? What do you want that to conjure up in their mind? I'm
hoping that Opolis, optimism, opportunity. That's what I want it to be associated with.
Do you consider yourself an optimist?
100%. I wouldn't be doing this if I wasn't an optimist. I believe in hope for a lot of reasons.
The Opolis line of plant-based sunglasses is already on the market, and the Stoked collection, made from recycled plastic, will be available next month. And you know, we get to meet people who are really excited about the work that they're doing, and he is so passionate about this, and I know has really big dreams for this company, which right now is just sunglasses, but he's got lots of plans.
I love it because I love what he said. He's taking and teaching the people that live near these landfills.
Right.
They can take trash and turn it into a commodity. That's so powerful.
Absolutely, and there are all sorts of uses for the plastic blend that he's come up with, and he's sort of trying not to feel overwhelmed, but very excited about the process. And the other thing I want to tell you is, in the 6 degrees of separation information, I went to college with James's parents, which we figured out quickly at the beginning of the story. So I got to reconnect with them and chat with them and see them, which was great fun. So it was a little like time traveling, because James looks exactly like his father.
Such a small world.